Chelsea take lead in race for Huijsen and hoping to get deal done. Dean Huijsen, apparently, Liverpool, Real Madrid, they're no longer in the race to sign him. And if that is the case, I think there are certain players, right, where I talk about Chelsea needing to have some experience, needing some leadership in the team. There are certain young players, right, that are actually just a little bit too good when the opportunity arises to turn your nose up at. Absolutely everything you could want in a modern-day defender, whether it is Enzo Maresca, boring position, rigid-based football or not. He's playing for Bournemouth, for goodness sake. This guy is available this summer, and I think Chelsea Football Club, definitely something to be said this season about we've been much better when Wesley Fofana's in the team with Levi Colwill. That is when we have looked most solid defensively. And even in the last few games where we've seen Trev and Colwill at the back, there's been moments where I'm like, bloody hell, our defence just isn't good enough. Who would be the right-sided centre-back? It would probably be Dean Huijsen.
Right, we found out today that Chelsea are leading the race to sign Bournemouth defender Dean Huijsen, but I've got some issues with it. Firstly, let me say that Dean Huijsen is an incredible talent. He is so good, so exciting, and he's only 20 years old. He's an incredible ball-playing centre-back. He's 6'5". All the big clubs want him, but you've got to ask yourself, don't Chelsea have quite a lot of this kind of profile? Now, I'm not saying in the slightest that Fofana, Achipong or Colwill are better than Dean Huijsen, but what I would say, if you were to categorise centre-backs into rough kind of profiling, then I would say that they're in a somewhat similar section, ball-playing centre-backs, not the biggest physical ability, but still very good at passing from out the back. And I don't think that's exactly what Chelsea need at the moment. If we were to sign Dean Huijsen, which would be fantastic, we'd have to get another centre-back. And I think I've got an idea who that should be. Let's look at someone like Jonathan Tah, for example. He's 29 years old, so he's an old player. He's international and club experience. He's just won the league with Bayer Leverkusen. He's a very physical, tall, massive centre, more of a classic, stereotypical centre-back, but he can play with the ball at his feet. Most importantly, we would sign him on a free because he's out of contract, whereas Dean Huijsen would cost something like 50, 60 million. And if he was to play next to someone like Colwill, he's got very different attributes, so he could support Colwill in a better way. I don't really want two centre-backs that are exactly the same playing style. I really like Dean Huijsen. I think he'd be a fantastic signing, but he himself could not elevate Chelsea to that next level. We'd need another centre-back like Jonathan Tah. Hit follow for daily Chelsea content.
I will take Huijsen to Chelsea on one condition. Yesterday I made a video where we broke the news saying that Chelsea have taken the lead to sign Dean Huijsen ahead of the Club World Cup and ahead of other clubs like Liverpool and even some of the Spanish teams. Whether or not this is true or not, I said I'd take Huijsen at Chelsea because I think I've watched him at Bournemouth this season. He's a good defender. He's good at passing. Yes, he's young, but from what I've seen from him, he looks like a quality centre-back. However, as I said, he is young, and one thing I didn't make clear in my video yesterday is that I still want an experienced centre-back to come through this January window, because the fact that Tossen's our more experienced centre-back and our defence has been, regardless of what the stats say, I still don't think our defence is good enough this season. We're making so many silly errors, like bozo moments, and I can't watch another season of it. And a lot of it, that is due to Robert Sanchez as well and Maresca's tactics, but I don't think any of our centre-backs are really like elite level that we need for Chelsea. So with that being said, if you were to sign Dean Huijsen, I don't have a problem with that, as long as we bring in also another experienced centre-back. And Jonathan Tah is leaving Bayer Leverkusen as a free agent this summer, so I think Chelsea, if Chelsea were serious, we would sign Dean Huijsen and Jonathan Tah. Like, we should be all over this, in my opinion. Like, Jonathan Tah has won the league with Bayer Leverkusen. He's a big 6'5", big physical defender as well. We haven't really got like a proper physical like beast at the back either. We've got Tosin who's tall, but he's not like a beast like Jonathan Tah. So I think Chelsea should be all over this.
Chelsea have taken pole position in the lead to sign Dean Huijsen. Now, of course, this would be an excellent signing. They hope to sign Bournemouth defender before the Club World Cup. Now, apparently, we've taken pole position on this. We've gone full in on it. We spoke to Bournemouth and him. Apparently, he's very keen on the move. Of course, it's got the £50 million release clause. And let's be honest, this is a highly talented centre-back who's excelled in the Premier League this season. And this will be a great signing. Of course, we're on about offering him a 7-year contract. I mean, there's not really any surprise in that. And apparently, he's very keen on the move. Now, I'm all for this, but I know that not all Chelsea fans are. A lot of Chelsea fans out there saying we need this kind of like experienced centre-back to come in. We don't need another young centre-back. He's the same sort of profile as a lot of other players we have. I just think he's very different. I feel like this would be a massive addition to the team. But if you are a Chelsea fan that doesn't want to sign him, or any football fan, why don't you get yourself a mystery football shirt instead from Mystery Champions? They're currently running a deal, Easter 20. I know it's a little bit past Easter, but it gets 20% off your deal. I've been sent out a Marseille shirt today, so let's have a quick look at that. Oh, hello, this is not the colours I was expecting for a Marseille kit. I was thinking a bit of white and blue. Mate, that is naughty. When is that from? If you do want to get yourself a mystery football shirt, remember Mystery Champions Easter 20 to get 20% off, and you might get a beauty like that. I've said this before, I think he's the perfect centre-back target for us. I think £50 million, that Reece is pretty low for a 19-year-old. It's great money for Bournemouth. They want a quick deal, and realistically, they only paid, about 15 million for him from Juventus. So this is a great deal for them. It's great progression for his career. I think this is a great deal around. I think he walks into us, and I think he starts with Wesley Fofana's injury problems, and especially if Enzo Maresca does stay and he wants to start this sort of like centre-back at right-back thing, put Fofana out there. I can see it. I think this one makes a lot of sense.
Now that Chelsea is the favourite to sign him, now that Chelsea is edging closer in getting his signature, do you think Dean Huijsen will be a better player for Chelsea? Remember, Dean Huijsen is one player that is wanted by Real Madrid. He is wanted by Liverpool. He is wanted by several clubs. But the talented youngster has seen, has known, looked at it in different way and understood that he is going to shine brighter with Chelsea. A club, that has a team of the youngest mind in the English Premiership. Dean Huijsen has seen it that when he comes in, he is definitely going to get regular minutes. You see, the young talent has been fantastic this season. Nobody is even going to argue that fact that the young talent has been impressive this season. You see, buying him from Bournemouth is never going to be any stress for Chelsea. Personal agreement is never going to be any stress for Chelsea. He wants to remain in the English Premiership. Despite the offer, despite the rumors, despite the noise, from Real Madrid, Dean Huijsen wants to remain back in the English Premiership. But one question I want to ask you, as somebody who cares about Chelsea, is Dean Huijsen that centre-back that Chelsea should be looking at right now? You see, when you talk about it, when you argue with some quarter is going to tell you that in as much as Dean Huijsen is a good player, he is young. He is just 20. What Chelsea needs right now is a leader in that centre-back. A leader like Thiago Silva. A leader that will be in that pole and, connect with other defenders and tutor them well on how to function from the back. Just like Thiago Silva did for us. While others are going to tell you that the boy is good, sign him and bring him to Chelsea. But if we get him, is he going to be a better player for us? You see, disappointingly, I hope I got that correctly, my disappointment right now is that with the further news I had on Enzo Maresca's plan for the Huijsen is that when he gets him, he wants to partner him with, our injury-prone player. Our injury-prone player, Wesley Fofana. You see, this is one area I'm going to have, problem. It is not as if that Wesley Fofana is not good. Wesley is good. When he is fit and good, he is better than other centre-backs that we have there. He's better than, Levi Colwill. But injury has not allowed him play a part. Injury has not given that opportunity to play a part. Imagine pairing Dean Huijsen and Wesley Fofana, and Wesley Fofana becomes a player that goes off and on, just like he did this season. We want a partner for this young boy. If we eventually sign him, we want a partner that can be consistent with him in that middle. Maybe Chalobah, maybe Levi Colwill, maybe Tosi Adarabioyo. I don't know. I don't know the clause plan. But if they are going to sign a centre-back, just like you and I know that they will, do you think that player should be Dean Huijsen? If you ask me that question, before you comment, share your thoughts, I will say, get us the young boy. He is good. He can do the job. He has been consistent for Bournemouth this season. In terms of even helping on the attack, the boy is there. In terms of, tackling well without mistake, winning duels and all of that, making sure that you are not found wanting in your position in that centre-back, the boy is there. But to you, do you think it will be a bright star for us?